Nintendo!
Nintendo! Hooray, everybody.
Hooray!
This is Milesluigi.
And
This
Higsby.
is Mario and Luigi. Bowser's Inside Story. Last time, Bowser beat the living daylights out of Midbus, Blizzard Midbus to be more specific, and now he's got this really, really nasty infection that kind of hit his lungs that we now have to go through. So we've ran into our first enemy right away, this bad boy. His name is just an air cheap because he's cheap, but he's in the air. Also, I guess he's infused with dark magic and a weird plug on his head. That kind of looks really funky. It almost looks like you could pop him. Go boop, you go pop. So the Airway is an interesting place because at least game-wise, this is easily like the best place in the game to grind for good items, gear, and stuff like that. Because naturally, we're kind of getting near the end of the game too. That's probably a big reason why. As you can see, the air cheap actually tries to fake you out here a whole bunch and trip you up, but thankfully not too difficult. He also has this attack where he'll keep just trying to run into you, and you can either stop it by hitting like a little plug on his head, or you can just keep hitting him till he dies. He won't stop. He'll just keep going and going. If somehow you theoretically like manage to purposely not level up either Mario or Luigi, you could probably go on with that attack like forever. I don't see any reason why it would stop.
That's cool.
So yeah, the idea here is once again we have to use Bowser to integrate with the environment inside of himself with Mario and Luigi. In this case, you know, you have the Blizzard Midbus's, I guess, yucky snot that freezes the whole area. That's some impressive yucky snot to freeze the entire runway. It also cannot be really comfortable for Bowser to freeze his lungs just for, I guess, cooling himself off from this infection. That's gotta be painful, man. I mean, you've had nasty cold, sick days.
Oh yeah.
Now just imagine like an evil spirit in like your lungs, and you have to breathe this cold air to feel okay.
Is that like what medicine's supposed to do? It destroys the evil spirit in your lungs? That could be the slogan. I would buy that.
So the next time you buy like something like Aminopacetafin, you're gonna be like, it destroys the evil spirit in your lungs.
Flu shots would probably be a lot more appealing if that was what they said.
They'd be worth the nasty chase if they said that. Man. We have a puzzle here. As you can see, I can't hit that switch when the fire's up because, well, the fire's up, but if I freeze the area, I can't hit the switch because it's frozen. Well, there seems to be a conveniently placed switch here. And thankfully, little Snotball is able to come down and extinguish the fire. That triggers this random membrane to open up here to our left, which allows us to explore over in this direction, get some ultra mushrooms. Let's take a look at the map. Let's see here. We could go to the right or we could go to the left. Which should I go to first? Well, let's head over to the right. Ah, save point. And that's actually all this room is really good for. We'll be coming back to this room multiple times, and it's pretty much the save point room. You'll see what I mean as the time goes by. But actually solving the... Oh, the fire's back. I guess we need to extinguish again.
Huh. That's weird, but...
Guess we had to extinguish Bowser's random fire that's leaking inside of his lungs to be able to continue on forward here. There we go.
31.
Luigi has made it to level 31. If you ask me, at this point, I've gone through 30 level ups with statistically kind of sort of random level ups. I think I'm just going to stack everything into POW at this point. Because all my other stats are just kind of good enough for post-game. I'm like, yeah, let's just try to ink that POW up as much as possible. Even though like the POW wheel for me now is just like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 1 1 1 1 1. Can't catch a break here. I think I need something to like slow down the game and like allow me to purposely wait for that 2 or 3 to finally appear.
I'm surprised there wouldn't be something in the emulator which would allow you to slow down the speed.
There probably is if I look at Desmume. I'll have to take another look. Cheat for my level ups.
That would be cool.
Alright, so anyway, this part of the airway, I guess we can drop little snot balls, and we can actually freeze the little snot balls. And it's entirely thanks to the formation block, which is, I guess, a random set of bones sitting inside of Bowser's lungs. But first, we have to get that ice block to a proper location. So, here's how this puzzle works. First, water into the bones floating in midair. Second, freeze the room. Ice cube forms. Third, flip over the ice cube. You cannot get smushed by it, by the way. Mario and Luigi just run out of the way automatically. Then finally, if I can get on the other side of the stupid ice block, push it in the right place. It's not as convoluted as it sounds, honestly.
It's interesting because usually platforming Mario games, it's like there's maybe a little bit of puzzle solving, like maybe finding secret exits, but overall, there's not too much of it. So to see that a lot in in this game, to have Mario side-scrolling segments with a lot of puzzle solving, I find that really interesting to see how they've kind of tried to incorporate it. I find that a lot of the puzzles have been really simple, maybe just because I've played games with way more difficult puzzles, but it's still interesting that they tried.
I wouldn't say Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story is really known for puzzles. It's more so over here's an obstacle you have to deal with. How are you going to deal with it? And the solution's not too difficult, really. Anyway, our thing that we're trying to get rid of here has found little pellets of DNA. All right. Let's see here. We could just run up to him, but like the room very clearly presents here this thing. So why don't we try to sneak attack him? Here we go. Push the ice cube that way. And that doesn't seem to have worked at all. Well, he actually opened up the way forward for us to proceed. And he also seems to be able to punch. Oh boy. Well, anyway, I failed the jump because I remembered, oh, I didn't even check the upper portion of this room first. Oh, there's a retry clock. Okay, that was it. Okay, back to the other room. So yeah, the Dark Star has gained the ability to punch. That won't mean anything later.
I'm sure it won't.
So what Globin here is trying to explain is that this block goes on this line guide platform back and forth, and it could become like semi-solid or however you'd want to describe it, or permeable and frozen. Well, the only way to ride it is if I can... Oh gosh, I messed that up really badly. We have to jump into it while it's permeable. So let's wait for it again. There we go. So now it's permeable. Now we can ride it. It's all sticky and gooey, but if we freeze the place again, it loses all of its stickiness. Which I've never thought about that before. Holy cow, look at this new enemy. His name is a Stonk.
Stonk.
He's literally a purple bubble cloud of evil. I will give him this. He looks like he belongs with like Kekletta's army with like a color scheme and pattern like that. Holy cow.
I was thinking something similar.
There we go. Gotta hit the real stonk there. So yeah, the stonks aren't too terribly difficult. They try to trip you up with attacks like that and other attacks we'll see shortly. But first, Mario gets his next level up here at level 31. Pow, baby. Oh, wow, look at that wheel.
Aw.
Maybe I really should start trying to cheat that wheel. Wow. Anyway, point being, the blocks here that we have to go across, they lose their stickiness when they get frozen, which just made me think to myself, wow, do things actually lose their stickiness when they get frozen? I need to test this. Like, it seems like intrinsically true, but I've never actually thought about it before. Like, if you freeze duct tape, it loses its stickiness, does it not?
I can't say I've ever tried that.
Exactly. But it just feels like it, yeah, it would lose its stickiness, but I don't have any, like, scientific way to explain. This is why something loses its stickiness when it gets cold. I need to look into this. I missed the coins, and I fell, and Luigi fell,
Oh.
and I can't get the coins. Alright, well, let's dispatch the stonks in this room. Well, thankfully Mario and Luigi have enough speed that I don't have to really care about getting that first strike happening. That's always nice. I barely put any level ups in speed, too. I kept track. I put 2 level ups in speed this whole game.
So how is your current level compared to, like, you know, what it should be? Are you over leveled, or are you pretty average, or?
I would say if you go through the encounters like I did, you should be around level 30-ish. It's about a normal level. The reason why the game feels so easy and overpowered is because I have like the best gear.
That's true. I
have the AOK wear and like DX POW gloves, and it makes me really powerful.
As I was gonna say, these enemies aren't posing any kind of problem to you at all. I mean, even if you weren't extremely high leveled, like, even their attack patterns are pretty simple. So I know you mentioned that we're getting close to the end of the game, but these definitely don't feel like very end game enemies.
I'll give you that, Higsby. I suppose I could always try to put on the challenge medal, which makes enemies do 150% extra damage.
Hmm. And I forget. Sorry. And there's no reward for doing that, or do you get additional items?
You get 50% more coins per battle. So there is actually something to it. If you were going through the game with the challenge medal, you would have a lot easier time purchasing AOK wares, actually, now that I think about it. More challenging game for better equipment more quickly. I don't have to worry about that anymore, though. Alright, so once again we have to freeze the area, and that gets us the Guardian Socks! The Guardian Socks, what are they good for? They're good for restoring HP and SP per turn. They're actually really good at doing that. I'm like, should I plop that on Luigi over? Yeah, I should. I will. That's a good equip. I like it. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and hit this little button here, and that causes 1 platform to appear. That's definitely not enough platforms. Mario and Luigi don't have a high jump ability to work off of.
No, every time the RPGs come around, Mario and Luigi forget how to wall jump, they forget how to triple jump, they forget how to backflip.
They forget all of their platforming prowess. Such a shame, too. There we go. There's platform 2. Cool. Now we got 2 platforms. Let's head back up there.
That's especially one thing about the Paper Mario games, is you jump ridiculously low in those games, but then you get the ability to like jump really high later on in the game, and it's like, yes, I feel so powerful. I mean, I guess in Paper Mario 1 you don't really get that, but then Paper Mario 2 you have the boots that allow you to like launch into space, and that feels pretty good.
Oh yeah, it does. No, Paper Mario 1 you have Parrot Gary. And I suppose you technically have an equivalent in Thousand Year Door with the Yoshi. But yeah, no, Mario and Luigi, like Mario and Luigi jump, and the game's very commonly comments something along the lines of, "Oh look, it's Mario and Luigi. Look at their jumps. Yes, they can jump." And like, yeah. But no fancy side flip jumps or back flips or anything like that. Just jump. We're talking about a jump as if it's the most boring thing in the world, but it's a really effective thing. It's one of my better attacks. Wow, I killed that stonk in 1 attack. You weren't joking about me being overpowered at this point, Higsby.
As I was saying.
It's not level 2. As anyone who has played this game before with me would attest to, it's not the level. I am at about the level I should be at this point. It is the gear I have right now. So, here we go. This room look familiar?
Save! There we go.
There we go. Oh man, that actually brings back some memories. I used to, this is like when I was really young, I would watch my uncle play through Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider 2 just because he had it on the PC and it was fun to watch him play. It was like almost watching a Let's Play before Let's Play was a thing on YouTube. But he would never save! And then he would die at a place and he'd be like, oh, then he'd go all the way back. And then I'd tell him, you need to save more often. Slowly, then he would save more often, then he'd forget to save. Then he'd go back. It was a thing that happened.
You know, people complain, you know, back in the days before autosave, and you had to remember to save on your own. Now everyone has it so easy.
Oh, man. Looks like that dark star is going after more of Bowser's genetic code. Now, sneaking up on it last time wasn't very effective, but look at what we can do now. Yeah, knock it right into this jelly thing. Oh, that's not going to help too much, is it? It kind of just breathed a really evil fire and can do more of it. There we go. Although, once again, that lets us proceed.
Pretty sure anybody who's like older than 5 can tell what's going on here.
It's like, it's not even really a game of connect the dots, it's a game of connect the dashes. Alright, can I make this jump to this right-bound platform, maybe? It looks kind of like a far jump. We were just talking about jumps. Ooh, maybe not. Not that there really is anything there, other than the bone that I could just randomly split out of Bowser's Lund, but okay. That's what we got there. But, oh, look, we're back in the save room. There we go. Let's, there we go.
Yeah, it just gave you a save, and then you're back in a room where you can save again. Final dungeon, or you didn't say it was the final dungeon, but Endgame is very generous with its saves.
Alright, this is the Lift-O-Globin. He can't speak, but when he's frozen, you can do things with him. Cool. Okay, well let's freeze the room and see what we can do with him. Well, he becomes a platform. That's really awesome. The game spends like a minute to explain that you're supposed to use the touchscreen to move Lift-O-Globin.
Huh.
Oh, whoa, look at that. New enemy, all while I'm on Lift-O-Globin. Here we go. These are the Air Napses. These look really similar to another enemy called the Naps, except they are more powerful, naturally. And they have more difficult patterns. Not terribly more difficult, but more difficult patterns, to say the least. I messed up against the air cheap there. But yeah, if you remember, Napses, they could split up like this, but the split up forms have the lesser HP, or I think they have to lose HP to do this, so well, I kind of messed that up. So, now if I attack one of these Air Napses, they'll just die. Poof, pretty easily. Wow, Mario, you are overpowered. Anyway, you can see how the air cheat like blows away, and oh, I kind of got hit, and he continues attacking. So I may have looked that easy, but I suppose a point to point out here is that if you do mess up attacks in this area, a lot of enemies will just continue attacking, actually. Not all attacks. I'd actually say, like, all the enemies have an attack that'll do that, but like only an attack, now that just to clarify. So anyway, let's head on over to the right here in what is very clearly an extremely deadly area of Bowser's Lunds, because there's just a whole bunch of like neural activity going on here, and it looks very shocking. How interesting how we're running into the air naps in the area where we run into weird electrical circuits in the lungs. Seems like a clever play by Alpha Dreams Pirates. There we go, this is where we're gonna find the air naps. Also, there's like electrical circuits going on all over the place. Alright, not the hammer, the jump please, thank you. That opens up that little memory, so now we never have to visit the electrical stuff up ahead, or up above us. That's pretty much it actually, that's all that switch is good for.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that big of a deal. It's like, here's an incredible shortcut that cuts off like 10 seconds.
And now you don't have to deal with the electrical stuff. Okay, cool. Lift-O-Globin gets really sad when you get off of him.
My one moment of fame is over!
We have come face to face with the hard edge Totem Globin. If we have to get past this point, we have to take their very tough test. Sure, whatever. Here is the very tough test.
Ooh.
We must hit all 8 blocks in numerical order. Were you paying attention, Hingsby? Do you know where they all are?
Know where they all are? Well, I mean, I hope I don't have to actually remember the order. I hope the numbers stay there.
Well, they do always stay in the correct order. So I naturally failed this minigame a couple of times because this minigame is all about knowing where those numbers are and getting to them quickly because you only have 50 seconds to like do this whole thing. But it's a good thing to fail actually because there's a whole bunch of beans hidden in this room.
Huh.
There we go. So it's in your interest. Oh, hey, either say no to them and just drop down here below, or I guess fail and go get those beans. Alright, so let's head back up here. There we go. So let's try this again. This, I think, was like attempt number 3 or so, because you, to complete this, you have 50 seconds. You have to go from block to block, and you have to like fumble around with the touch screen and the jump buttons to be able to do this.
They seem to go very kind of like left, right, left, right, left, right. So, yeah, like see, then this one's to the right, and then the other one's of course going to be to the left. So
all the way to the left. Oops, I did not mean to press that button. Holy cow. And the timer keeps going, too.
It does.
The timer doesn't give you any mercy at all. You do have leeway, but you don't have mercy. As you can see, even though I messed up there, I am still making it within time. There we go, 9 seconds. Once again, not difficult, but you need to know where those blocks are. Otherwise, you will fail, and I've failed a couple times.